Hey, what's up, YouTube? How's it going? This is Chandler Slezak here, and I'm back. I know that it's been a while since I've recorded a video, but I mean, it's been like since like July of last year since I made my last video, and that was on the Deadpool video, like that one Deadpool glitch. But yeah, if you want to watch that, I guess you just go back and watch that. But yeah, anyway, so this is just kind of going to be like an update, a life update, what I've been doing lately. And also, I'm also going to have a little bit of a rant on here because I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on lately, you know what I mean? I just feel like I need to put my voice out there. So yeah. Yeah, so update wise, ever since July, I mean, shoot, I went on a cruise to Mexico. And that was pretty freaking awesome. See, I before the cruise, I had a wisdom tooth extraction, and that was very interesting. And then let's see, what else have I done? Oh yeah, so like around late October, early November, I got a new job. I finally got my first job. It's freaking awesome. I work at a sign company, and it's pretty fun. I enjoy that job quite a bit. But yeah, anyways, and shoot, Christmas wise, I got a new Xbox One S for Christmas, and that was freaking amazing. So I mean, probably thinking about probably doing more gameplay stuff on YouTube. I mean, be pretty awesome to do because I mean, I like video games. Who doesn't like video games nowadays? It's like a big thing. Sure was especially a big thing. Like it was growing in the early 2000s during around my time when I was born. Yeah, 2000, but still, yeah, probably thinking about probably doing more video game stuff, like video game posts. So, I mean, it's gonna be cool. But yeah, and then I actually voted, like in the presidential, like I did early voting last month, but it wasn't the first time I voted. I voted back in 28 or 2018 midterms, I think is what it was. Yeah, or yeah, it's 2018 midterms when I voted, or was it 2019? Anyways, I voted in the midterm election, like politics wise. So I mean, that was my first time voting, as well as I also voted like some like local county stuff for my county. But yeah, cool stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically what I've been up to lately. Oh, and also as you can see, I got a new pair of glasses, so you'll be seeing this look a little more often. Probably every once in a while I'll wear the other ones because I still have the other ones. Because I mean, they're still good. Oh, I remember there was one thing I forgot to mention that I was gonna put in this video about updates about what I've been doing lately. Yeah, so in November, towards before Thanksgiving, I got into a car wreck. That was something. Let's just say it was my fault. I knew it was my fault. I made a stupid decision. I'll probably go into detail about that at another time if I really want to. But I mean, yeah, got into a car wreck in November. Wasn't my proudest moment, but I learned from it. I paid off the citation that I was given. So yeah, it was quite something, but I learned quite a bit from that. As stupid as some of the things that I've done, I haven't always done stupid things, but I mean, we all every once in a while do stupid things, you know. Whatever. Stuff happens. Gotta live and let live, and just learn from it. But yeah. So yeah, that's mostly what I've been up to lately for ever since July of last year. Oh, one last thing. I'm also now currently a college student. I got accepted to a local college in my area. It's called Navarro Count or Navarro. Oh yeah, it's just called Navarro County Community College. So yeah, I do love being a Navarro Community College student. It's pretty fun stuff. I love a lot of my classmates are pretty cool. Like I mean, got some people that are older than me in there. I mean, that's cool stuff. I like college. But yeah, anyways, that's definitely what I've been up to lately. I got a wisdom tooth extraction back in May. I got into a car wreck in November. But before that, like early, like end of October towards the beginning of November, I got a job. Pretty fun stuff. Love my job. I voted in early voting for president for the 2020 election, and there's one more thing I mentioned. Oh yeah, and I got a new pair of glasses, as you can see. But anyways, so now I'm gonna get on to the rant part of the video. And this has been happening like ever since the beginning of March, well really end of February. It just kind of pissed me off. And this has to do with the whole coronavirus thing. I mean, kind of has to do with the fact that Donald Trump put Mike Pence in charge of the whole thing. Despite the fact that Mike Pence is anti-science, is a person who's like anti-science, anti-evolution. He honestly does not understand how diseases work because I mean, during his time as governor of Indiana, like his administration was pretty much responsible for like an entire like huge outbreak of HIV and all that, and that's all because his healthcare like policies pretty much sucked over there, and it's like all because it's like he's basing all of this crap that he gets, like he bases all of his policies on bullshit things like anti-vaxxer shit, fucking shit from the Bible and all that, because this dude's a fundamental Christian, and we all know how a bunch of those guys are. They're pretty freaking crazy, and they have no idea how science works. Pretty ridiculous. But yeah, it's like okay, so I've been reading stuff about Pence, and I mean, it's like I've done research on this guy beforehand, like when he became vice president. Because I mean, back in 2016, I was obviously 16 when Trump was elected. As much as I hate Trump, because I mean, it's like he doesn't like. Here's the thing about Trump: he doesn't understand how economics works. He doesn't. Just because he's a businessman, that doesn't automatically mean that he understands how like economics works. I mean, seriously, just look at what Trump has done with his businesses. He's bankrupted a bunch of his businesses because he doesn't understand how the economics behind business works. I'm not going to say that I know everything about economics. I'm just saying. I mean, it's like you would think that Trump would have better common sense when it comes to that kind of stuff, but he doesn't. He doesn't understand that. And there's just been a lot of things that Trump has done I find very sketchy, especially whenever it comes to the whole fucking Syria. I mean, yeah, not Syria. I'm sorry. Like the Iran bombing. I mean, yeah, the pretty much when he killed Soleimani, like the assassination of Soleimani. So I was gonna say, yeah, I found that to be very sketchy because I mean, it's like Trump basically started that whole ordeal all because of pretty much an internet social media war that fucking Soleimani was going on with against Trump. Like he was pretty much like posting shit and like dissing Trump, which Trump definitely deserves because I mean he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. I mean seriously, when when are people going to realize that people like Trump are not worthy of being president? I mean it's like in order for somebody to even be in the presidential, like to even be a president, I think that that person actually has to have political background. Who actually the person needs to know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to this shit. But Donald Trump, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He just talks out of his ass. I wouldn't be surprised that if he only talked shit because of like the amount of fucking like drugs that he abuses. And there's a lot of evidence that points out that Trump more than likely abuses fucking like some like, stimulant medications like through like I saw this one picture. It was like a few years back now. You can still find this picture on YouTube or a picture on the internet. Anyways, like there's a picture of Trump out there eating something like a taco bowl, I think is what it was. I mean, anyways, it's like when you zoom in and look on the right side of the picture or his left side, you'll see this drawer, right? It's like, and you'll see that this drawer's kind of cracked. And when you zoom in on that picture on to that one part where the open drawer is, you can see that there's like some pseudoephedrine like medication that was like from the UK. And I'm not saying that the UK has anything to do with this. I'm just saying, I mean, it's like The fact that this dude has a freaking stockpile full of pseudoephedrine medication shows he abuses drugs. He's got to be abusing drugs. Here's what I think he's probably doing. He's probably taking those damn pills, or even any stimulants, crushing that shit up, and snorting it. Either that, or he's probably like, especially when it comes to say something like, he'll probably take something like Adderall, just fucking take it. And I know some of the, like, what do you call it? I know some of the little ticks, or like some of the little things that like make Adderall people tick, kind of like based on personal experience. I am a person who is medicated currently with Adderall. I've been taking stimulants ever since I was a little kid. Back during, I think it was like second grade when I started taking, like when I was prescribed like Concerta. It's like the first time I was ever prescribed. And then later on in my life, I was given Vyvanse. Been on Vyvanse for a long time until last year when I had a panic attack. And that shit was kind of crazy. So like, I was also having like high blood pressure. Like there was one day I went to the doctor and my blood pressure was really freaking high. But that was because of the stimulant medication. Like that's because of the Vyvanse. Because I was taking like the last dosage I ever took of Vyvanse was like 70 milligrams, and I'd been on that for a couple years. Like I'd been on the 70 milligrams for a couple years. And I mean, I know that shit feels like I was really tweaky. I was like doing all this weird stuff. Like I was like twitching my shoulder kind of thing, like that. Just that was just an example. I mean, it's like after that I had enough of that shit. So I mean, like I switched to Adderall like last year. That shit's fucking great. Love it. Love the hell out of my Adderall. I definitely feel like I'm doing a lot more on this than what I was doing when I was on Vyvanse. I don't know what it is. It's just Vyvanse is it worked, but then it kind of just like right when I got to 70 milligrams, I was plateaued, fucking plateaued on that fucking drug. But then it's like later on towards the end of it, I was slowly just descending on like say this is a graph, right? That's how I was when I first took it. Then I plateaued in the middle of it, and going towards the end, started dipping down. That shit was fucking nuts. But anyway, enough about me. What I'm saying is that like, obvious that Trump fucking probably abuses drugs because I mean it's like, just look at his mannerisms. He's very twitchy and he slurs quite a bit in his speech and he talks really fast. But then it's like there's other times when there was like one speech that he gave and he was like, it wasn't even the State of the Union. It was like some other speech that he gave, and he was really talking slow, and he was slurring a little bit, and but he was really careful with his words. He was just really slow like this, like he was on a downer, like Xanax or something. I'm just like, dude, we can tell that you're a joke. Like people like me can obviously tell that you're abusing uppers and downers. You're abusing stimulants, and probably you're doing Xanax on the side, like you're fucking crushing bars and just snort that shit or something. You know what I mean? It's fucking nuts. It's crazy, man. But yeah, besides that, the point that I was getting with that part of the rant is that Trump has no idea what the fuck he's doing whenever it comes to politics. He just doesn't. Because that's never been his expertise. Never been a politician. And I don't see why he even wanted to become president. And I know back then he has like experience like with campaigns because I mean, at one point, if I remember correctly, he ran as a Democrat in the 90s, but then it's like in the early 2000s, like he ran in the Reform Party, which is like some weird third party, um, like political party that no longer exists anymore, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I could be wrong. You can fact check me on that, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. First, he was a Democrat, like he ran as a Democrat at one point, if I'm not mistaken, like in the 90s, or at least he did identify as a Democrat in the 90s. And it's like Reform Party, like he ran as president in the Reform Party back in the early 2000s. But then in 2016, he then decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to run as a goddamn Republican. Because, I mean, Trump's kooky like that. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing. But at the same time, he somewhat matches some of the descriptions of like people that I consider to be within the group to like neocons. Like obviously Trump, a lot of the things that he does is like the things that that neocons would fucking go for. Like especially whenever it basically came down to him bombing, like whenever it came to the assassination of Soleimani. That's obviously something that the neocons would have went for. Because as we know, neocons are fucking warmongers. I'm not saying that they are exclusively are warmongers. I'm just saying that anybody who's within the fucking warmongering like ideology, whether you're on the right or the left, you're still a warmonger. You still want the U.S. to be killing people all because you want like to steal their oil and their fucking opium or whatever. You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid. But anyways, back to the rant about Pence. The fact that Donald Trump even put Pence in as the head of the fucking coronavirus task force shows that not only is Donald Trump retarded, but also at the same time he would trust an idiot like Pence to fucking do this shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, think about it. Pence literally thinks that prayer is gonna fucking pretty much get rid of the coronavirus. Not only that, but not only does Trump have an ego, which he obviously shows, like, not only does Trump have an ego, but Pence has an ego because I found that today Pence is not allowing people who fucking like he's not allowing scientists to be able to talk about the coronavirus without his permission. That's obviously a fucking ego there, and it's fucking crazy. Like this dude has no idea what the fuck he's even talking about because I mean it's like he he's anti-science. He fucking is anti-science. He is anti-evolution. Like he thinks that everything in the Bible is true, and that the Bible is the only thing that we need to be following. Really, dude. Not only that, but he subscribes to conspiracy theories based on how he fucking acts and how he's even fucking like handling this fucking coronavirus task force. And I say that because this dude's obviously got some of the some very similar ideas to fucking like anti-vaxxers. Like, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Mike Pence was against like flu vaccinations, for example. Sorry, I think of something off the top of my head, but still, I wouldn't be surprised if he was against that shit. You know why? Because he's a fucking evangelical Christian. A lot of evangelical Christians, I'm not saying a majority, but a lot of them are either anti-vaxxers or it's like they're against science in some form. It's like, okay, your religion's not obviously going to be bringing answers. Your religion doesn't even really know about how disease works. Your religion literally preaches that disease is caused from fucking like demonic possession. They literally think that not diseases, that conditions like autism and Asperger's are due to demonic possession. That's one thing that they fucking subscribe to. They don't even like, if I'm not mistaken, the New Testament especially fucking like doesn't even like what do you call it? The New Testament doesn't even like fucking agree with washing hands. I'm not saying I'm an expert on the Bible, but I've read it from cover to cover a couple times. I'm not gonna say that I remember all the fucking verses off the top of my head, but if I remember correctly, like a lot of Christians get this idea of like being anti-vaxxers because of like a bunch of the shit that's being preached in the Bible. I'm not saying that the Bible literally fucking preaches anti-vaccinations because I mean it's like they didn't even know about vaccinations back then. But what I am saying is that like a lot of these evangelical Christians subscribe to the idea that more than likely all these diseases that we have are due to demonic possession. Most of what I said right there, when it comes to that, is hyperbole, but at the same time, it might as well be true with like a bunch of the vocal people within the evangelical Christian community. They they have no idea what they're talking about. They literally think that fucking science is wrong and that somehow God is going to be able to fix everything. Just like, okay, let's say that your God's real. all the shit that he's done in the Old Testament, or really as it's called, the Torah, or the Tanakh, like, I don't know why you Christians have to call it the Old Testament, because it's like, no. Like, just call it what it is. Call it the Torah, or the Tanakh. Don't fucking call it the Old Testament. Because, like, just because you call your thing the New Testament, just because you think that Yeshua, Jesus, as you call him, anyways, just because you think that Yeshua is the Messiah of the fucking Torah, it doesn't mean that he follows, that he fucking, like, that doesn't even mean that he did all the fucking things that the supposed prophecies of the Torah fucking mentioned that the Messiah would do. For example, if you look at the fucking, like, stuff that they call the Old Testament prophecies, you don't even see anywhere there that says that the Messiah will die and then rise again. You don't see that shit. That's just literally the shit that fucking Christians came up with, all because they pretty much fucking plagiarize shit from, like, other myths. Seriously, think about it. People like Horus, like the Egyptian god Horus, he died and was resurrected. And he did a lot of similar shit that they say Yeshua fucking did. That's what the Christians pretty much preach. They are preaching a pagan ideology. They claim that they hate pagans, but at the same time, they believe in pagan ideology. They basically took the Torah and were just like, we're going to make up our own myth based off of the prophecies of this book. We're going to say that our fucking demigod, Yeshua, Jesus, is like, we're, we're going to say that he is the Son of God, Yahweh. We're going to say that he's the Son of Yahweh. And then they're going to be like, and then he's going to be like, oh, I'm definitely here to save all of you. I'm definitely the Messiah. I was born of a virgin, which that's not even fucking possible. How the fuck is a virgin birth even possible? That's stupid. You know what I mean? But then again, this book was written by people who didn't even understand what the fuck disease was. They didn't understand what the fuck the planets were. By that I mean it's like they didn't understand, like, a lot of the fucking, like, peasants back in the time. They just believed that everything was ran by God or gods. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, it's like, that's just how it was. So, it's like, we're outside of that. We should be outside of that. We should be. It's like, we're a more advanced society than it was, like, all those thousands of years ago. We understand a lot of shit. We don't understand everything, but that doesn't mean that we still have to subscribe to believing in God. Because, it's like, that goes against, like, all the fucking, like, scientific theories that we have. Especially thermodynamics. Christians love to claim that the Big Bang Theory and evolution go against the second law of thermodynamics. But that's not true. Don't fucking believe that shit. If you really want to learn about thermodynamics and how that all works, go do your own research. Don't believe in all the shit that these, like, fucking evangelical televangelists, like, pastors tell you. It's like, oh, evolution goes against the second law of thermodynamics just because, things cannot be created from like really warm fucking whatever they preach. You know what I'm saying. They just all that these fucking evangelicals do. Deny science. They think that the Bible is true about everything. And when they don't understand something, they're just like, ooh, I don't understand this, therefore God did it. I'm just like, dude, that's a fucking, like, God of the gaps fallacy. God of the gaps fallacies don't answer any questions. Just like how prayer doesn't fucking cure disease. Prayer does not fucking, like, prevent you from having an accident. None of that shit fucking works. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not saying that that's fucking all the way true. I'm just saying, it's like all this shit, all this magical shit that Christians and even, like, people like Muslims believe in, any religion that believes in mystical crap, all this crap that goes against everything that we know so far. It's like you can't just say, "Oh, I don't understand this, therefore it's fucking magic." Because it's like that's not an answer. That's a non sequitur. It's a non-answer. Doesn't make any sense. Yet, back to the rant, we got people like Pence who are saying, oh shit, the coronavirus is here. Let's all pray. prayer works, or so he thinks. Or so he fucking thinks. No, but seriously, that's what he thinks. And at the same time, he's got this ego to where he's just like, okay, none of you scientists get to say anything at all about this shit. Unless if you get permission from me. You gotta ask me. And guess what? That's the fucking thought processes of a goddamn tyrant. That's really what it is. It's stupid how people elect people like Trump, and Trump brings in people like Pence to be his vice president. And it's like, when they say the dumbest shit, all of us who are logical thinking people call that shit out. But all of a sudden, the dumb people who blindly follow people like Trump and Pence are just like, oh, you're wrong, man. You're wrong there. You don't understand how this works. These guys obviously understand because they're believers in the Holy Bible itself. And I'm just like, dude, your Bible's not objective truth. Your Bible is just as subjective as like anybody else's opinions. And that's just because you fucking interpret that. Anything that's interpreted, it's subjective. I could fucking read one verse of the Bible. You could say it means one thing. And I'll say, oh no, you're wrong. It means this. That doesn't make it true. And it especially doesn't make your claim true. But yeah, we got stupid people like fucking Mike Pence. Who are fucking government officials. Who help run this country. And they're just gonna say, oh, we're just gonna deny science and just pray the fucking disease away. Or even in the case of like the fucking homophobic Christians out there, who are like, oh, we're gonna pray the gay away, or we're gonna pray the motherfucking viruses away, or the diseases. It's like, and that's just because I'm not saying that all of them are simpletons. I'm just saying that a lot of them lack fucking critical reasoning. Hell, they even lack common sense. If you think about it deeply, not only do all the claims that religious people make go against logic, they also go against common sense. Because, I mean, a lot of the shit that we learned through science is now pretty much common sense. Like, for example, Christians, especially, well, not all Christians, but a lot of evangelical Christians, including Mike Pence, literally think that the Earth is 6,000 years old. It's not 6,000 years old. We have archaeological evidence based on, like, fossils, for one example, that shows that the Earth is not 6,000 years old. It's billions of years old. That's how it is. We have the evidence. We can show it to you. But at the same time, when we show it to you, you then deny it and say, oh, that's not true. No, that shit's true. Only the Bible is the true word. It means everything. All your answers there. But in reality, it doesn't have all the answers. You're just talking out of your ass. That's all. Dumbasses like you evangelical Christians who say this shit are saying no logical person is saying, oh, yeah, that's totally how it works. God definitely did. You know why? Because we're actually thinking with critical reasoning. We're actually investigating this shit. We may not know the answer now, but we'll know in the future. But guess what? God is never going to be the answer. Because you never get an answer by saying, oh, I don't understand this, therefore God did it. No, that's not how it works. You have to actually investigate the shit, get the evidence, do fucking experimentation. Whether it be physical experimentation or like even thought experiments. Thought experiments work as well. But still. And then after that, once you get all the fucking evidence and you do all the testing and all of your fucking information that you get comes out to be correct, then you can bring it to your peers. And by your peers, I mean scientific peers who are within the same fucking level of study as you. And then they can do the tests as well. Just so that way they can see, oh, okay, like if this is either true or if this is not true. If it's true, perfecto. We won't have to fucking change it unless if there's any evidence that goes against it. But if it's not true, oh well, back to the fucking drawing board. That's how life works. First, like if something doesn't work, go back to the damn drawing board. If it First you don't succeed, try and try again. That's just how it is. But no, Christians are just like, oh no, that's wrong. It's wrong because my Bible says so. It's like, dude, your Bible is not the answer to everything. Your Bible is just as subjective as me saying, oh, the sky is blue because, or like the sky is blue because, like, of a dome. I don't know. Or like even that the sky is blue because of holograms. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit fucking subjective reasoning that you can't even use as logical reasoning. What are you guys smoking? You guys must be smoking some good shit. Whatever you crazy evangelical Christians are smoking, I want some of that shit. Not to get fucking dumb, but just to get fucking high. Y'all seem to fucking love what the fuck you're doing. It's fucking stupid, man. I'm just like, what the fuck? You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just saying, oh, that's not true because my book says so. Well, guess what? I could say, oh, it's not true because my motherfucking Book of Chandler on my phone says that it's not true. And that instead, this is true. I'm just making up an example. Or even I could say, oh, that's not true because the Book of Eric says so. Which, if you watch Talk Heathen, you'll know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Book of Eric. Not an actual book, but it's just something that Eric from Talk Heathen came up with as a way of pretty much showing how ridiculous it is when Christians say, oh, that's not true because my book says so. My book says, oh, you gotta respect people, or because if you don't, then we're gonna stone you to death, or whatever. I'm not saying that you shouldn't respect people. I'm just saying, it's like, that's how stupid the logic is in the Bible. You're just like, oh, you can't lie with another man, or else we're gonna stone you. It's like, that's literally what your book says. Yet at the same time, you hypocrites don't stone people. Which is a good thing that you don't stone people, but at the same time, it's like, you don't practice what you preach. If you actually practiced what you preach, then people would take you seriously. I'm not saying that they're going to call you logical, but I'm just saying you look less like a hypocrite if you actually practice what you preach. But yeah, it's sad that we have people like Mike Pence who think that prayer is going to solve everything, and that only he has the authority to say what's right and what's wrong about fucking coronavirus. And you know that your vice president is stupid. When he was a fucking government, like, sorry, back when he was a fucking governor of Indiana, like when he said that fucking condoms don't work, or like that condoms are useless, whatever the fuck he said, or even that like fucking evolution is not true, or whatever, all because my book says so, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's sad that we have these people in government. Like, seriously, look at things from an objective standpoint and stop fucking getting your reasoning from a book of myths that was literally written mostly by fucking Bronze Age goat herders. Or at least people who had the same mindset and same logical thinking levels as like dumb peasants back like in the Bronze Age. You know what I'm saying? Just like get all the superstitious stuff out of government and let for there to be actual scientific evidence, things that actually fucking work. Guess what? There honestly is no scientific evidence that shows that prayer works. Because prayer is all subjective. If you feel something after you pray, then that's placebo effect. Like if you feel sick and you pray, and all of a sudden the next day you feel better, or like you don't feel as bad, that's placebo effect. That's all it is. I'm not saying that's always true, but a majority of the time, that's placebo effect. Now I'm not claiming to be an expert on this shit, but I'm just saying, if these motherfuckers actually looked at this shit from a logical standpoint, then they will realize all of this fucking mythical shit that they fucking claim is true is actually not true, and at the same time, they will then realize, oh, everything that I believe in not only goes against logic, but also goes against common sense. That's all it is. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thank y'all for watching, and hopefully I'll be able to do more YouTube stuff, even though I have a job. I never really started YouTube to do this for a job. I just started to do YouTube because I mean it's like pretty fun. Like it's interesting making videos. I like talking about this kind of stuff. And also at the same time, I like YouTube. One thing that I mostly do on YouTube nowadays is just go on videos and then it's like I'll just watch videos and write comments. That's all I mostly do nowadays on YouTube. But hopefully I'll be able to do more of this shit. Especially when I get my own place. You know what I mean? I mean it's like I kind of enjoy some of the aspects of YouTube. How we can just make videos and talk about this shit. Like it's amazing where the internet has gone throughout the past like fucking even the past like couple decades, like especially back in the 80s. Like it's crazy how the internet went from like being something small in the 80s to being like global and huge and advanced. It's insane, but it's pretty fucking awesome. And that's all thanks to science, not all thanks to religion or whatever. 'Cause, I mean, religion doesn't really give you that kind of technology. Look at the Dark Ages. Not really many technological advances were made during the Dark Ages, or the Middle Ages, or even medieval times, whatever you want to call that period. It's got three different names, but still, there weren't really many technological advances during that time. But ever since after the Renaissance, we've been catching back up. If it weren't for the Dark Ages, we probably would have been further along in technological advances by now. That's what I think. I'm not gonna say that's a fact. I mean, if you think about it logically, like it kind of makes sense. If it weren't for the Dark Ages, then we wouldn't have like if it weren't for the Dark Ages, we would have been further along in technological advancements. But yeah, like I said, that's all for now. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully I'll be able to do more YouTube. I like this shit. Be sure to like or dislike, be sure to like the video if you do like it. Dislike it if you don't. I honestly don't care if you like or dislike it because I mean, whatever. It's your opinion. Comment whatever you want as long as you don't try to fucking say some stupid shit. Because I mean, we don't want we don't really want stupid people saying some dumb shit like, "Oh, this shit's fucking dumb because yada yada yada," and like it just makes you sound stupid. I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So like I say, just like, comment, and subscribe if you like. All right, peace out.